Harem Anime, a sacred genre that's explored by only the most cultured specimens of mankind. Just imagine people wearing those early 1900s suits and top hats, and these beautiful gentlemen are always on the hunt for their next hit of pure harem goodness. So, for these men of culture, we've compiled a list of 10 harem anime where our weirdo MC gets really, and I mean really lucky with the girls. But before we start, make sure to punch that subscribe button so that you never miss any of our uploads. Now let's get on with it. We're starting off with Mayo Chiki, which sits at number 10 on our list. When it comes to oddball MCs, it doesn't get more cliched than this. Our protagonist Kinjiro quite literally starts spraying blood from his nose the moment a girl touches him. Like seriously man, every time I see that I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Now as you can see, when it comes to ladies, things are bad for our boy. But it all changes when one day, Kinjiro finds out that the hottest dude in the school is actually a girl. Bet you've never seen that before. But despite being really cliched, the story works with multiple girls now trying to win over Kinjiro's heart while helping him to get over his phobia of women. The show has hot girls and a fun, over-the-top story which, at the end of the day, is what you really expect from a harem comedy. Moving on from our shy boy Kinjiro, we check up on Yuto, who's doing everything he can to be labelled as a pervert. Yes, you heard that right. This man here has made peace with his inner demons. He has truly reached nirvana.
Finally, inner peace.
And this great man is the protagonist of the show called The Hentai Prince and the Stony Cat, which is number 9 on our list. Now even though Yuto is a pervert through and through, he always comes off as a saint to others. Desperate to show off his perverted side, he makes a wish to a cat statue that can remove any character trait from a person. He wishes to remove his habit of hiding his thoughts, but this wish comes with some unexpected consequences. The show is a fresh and funny take on the perverted protagonist niche, and the cute yet distinguishable female characters only add to its charm. Next up at number 8, we have the kissing simulator anime Yamada-kun and the 7 Witches. This show made me laugh and giggle simply because of its hilarious plot. Our protagonist Yamada is the school delinquent who is considered worse than trash by most students, but he is actually a nice guy. One day, he stumbles down the stairs with beautiful honor student Urera and they end up locking lips somehow. This stunt was done by professionals who live in the harem world. If you try to copy it, you'll not only break your bones, but will probably end up behind bars as well. Now, as soon as they kiss, they swap bodies, and this is when we find out that in this school, 7 girls have witch powers which can only be activated by a kiss. Isn't that the best plot point out there? This gives our protagonist a reason to go around kissing boys and girls left and right. I'm sure by now you understand why this show is funny and more at the same time. Yes, it suffers from some bad pacing, but if you look past its obvious flaws, there is a fun romantic harem show here that can give you the fix you've been looking for. Moving on to number 7, we have the OG harem anime To Love Ru. The story starts off with high schooler Yuki, who's been trying to confess his feelings to a classmate for many years now. He's very shy, and this is why he's especially shocked when a naked girl crash lands into his bathtub while he's enjoying his hot bath. The girl named Lala is actually the princess of an alien civilization, and she has to prove it by showing her freaking tail. And as if this encounter wasn't weird enough, Lala wants to marry Yuki just so she can avoid a political marriage on her planet. So in a matter of seconds, our protagonist turns from a shy nobody to a prospective husband. And this trend of hot girls falling for him continues throughout the series, which obviously creates hilarious scenarios for Yuki. Even though it aired in 2008, it has decent animation, and when the story gets good, this anime really comes to life. From our sci-fi harem anime, we go to the Yakuza one called Nisekoi, which is at number 6 on our list. The basic plot of the show is simple. Our protagonist Raku is searching for his childhood lover who has the key to open the pendant he wears around his neck. While the plot seems straightforward, the story is anything but. First off, Raku is the son of a Yakuza leader. Yes, we've leveled up from being delinquents to being the heir to an actual crime organization. But despite his bad family circumstances, Raku is trying to live like a normal high schooler. That all changes when he's forced to get into a romantic relationship with the daughter of a rival gangster. To make things better, more and more girls pop up in Raku's life, and he has to deal with all of it to find the love of his life. Moving on from the slow romance of Nisekoi, we come to High School DxD, where things escalate in an instant. The number 5 show on our list is an amalgam of genres. Even though it has elements of ecchi, comedy, romance, and action, at its heart, this is a harem anime through and through. The show tells the story of Issei, who's a horny high schooler looking to get a girlfriend. His wish comes true when a beautiful girl from a different school goes out with him. His first date goes so well that he believes he must be dreaming, but it all turns into a nightmare when his girlfriend kills him at the end of the date. His life is flashing before his eyes when out of nowhere, his senpai Rias appears and saves his life. I won't spoil stuff anymore, but I'm sure you get that this is an action harem show. The plot in this one isn't airtight, but the extraordinary fan service and the chemistry between Issei and all the other girls have made this one a cult classic. Now, the show at number 4 on our list is a controversial one. On one end, it completely divided the anime community, and on the other, it gave us the best waifu of the last few years. Yes, you guessed it. I'm talking about Rent-A-Girlfriend. When I watched it the first time, I honestly thought it was complete doo-doo. Don't get me wrong, I loved the animation and Chizuru's character, but I hated, and I mean hated, the protagonist Kazuya, who is having a nervous breakdown after breaking up with his girlfriend, whom he dated for only 1 month. Like, bruh, you can't even memorize someone's name in a month, let alone fall in love. To ease his pain, he decides to rent a girlfriend online, and that's how he meets Chizuru. His actions, dialogue, and even the thought process is infuriating, and yet for some reason, I couldn't stop myself from watching every episode on the day it aired. This is the weird magic of this harem comedy where our loser protagonist meets all sorts of amazing women. We as a viewer don't love him, but we keep watching, hoping that he'll grow up, and luckily, he does get better in season 2, which is airing right now. So even though you might not like it, I'm sure you'll get hooked to it after watching just 1 episode. Next up at number 3, we have the quirky yet excellent harem comedy, The World God Only Knows. This show is a great example of how to do light-hearted harem comedies. It tells the story of Kaima, who's a master of dating sims. One day, he meets a girl who claims to be a demon. She says that she's hunting souls for the afterlife, but these souls are hiding in the hearts of many girls. So, she needs Kaima to win over these girls so that these unwanted spirits leave their bodies. The plot is simple, and it kind of works like a game, where Kaima spends a few episodes going after each girl. Each girl is different and challenges our protagonist, but he uses the tricks from dating sims to make these girls fall in love with him. This show isn't well known, which is a shame since it deserves to be near the very top of the list of every harem enthusiast. Saikano, or How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend as it's more commonly known, is the second best harem anime on our list. Let me explain why it's so great and why it's not the best. The show is about a dating sim lover who wants to make a game of his own using the skills of his best friend and his ultra-talented senpai. The boring girlfriend from the title is actually his classmate. The premise is excellent and it provides our characters to grow as they challenge each other. One by one, all girls come to terms with the fact that they love our clumsy protagonist Tomoya, and they also teach him something which helps him achieve his dreams. This is a show that has a complete story that ends on a really high note with a beautiful film. The only reason why it isn't number 1 is that at times the show's pacing is off. This is especially evident in season 1 where some episodes just break the flow. But other than that, This is a really perfect romantic comedy and one of the few harem shows that have a good ending. Now, before we talk about the number 1 character on our list, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button to watch more videos like this one. And that brings us to the number 1 show on our list, which is called Quintessential Quintuplets. Yes, that's a mouthful, but it makes sense since the show is about quintuplet sisters who are living carefree lives until our protagonist Futaru comes to teach them. Futaru, like every other MC on this list, is an oddball who only cares about studying. He is in the same grade as these girls and agrees to teach them. The show follows his journey as he discovers new things about every one of these sisters. The progression of the show is perfect, with not even a second wasted. The humour also hits, which is somewhat rare in harem animes. But the best thing is how every girl has a unique personality which is explored in detail by the show. Love, heartbreak and sibling rivalry are just a few of the many themes of this show. To top it all off, the show is just beautiful to look at with a top-notch character design. So this might not be the most popular harem anime out there, but I believe it's the best one. And it also ranks pretty high in the romantic genre as well, so it really is a must watch for anime lovers out there.